Okay, no, start again. So before I get into the intro for this video, I just want to say a thank you. And that is a thank you to all the people that have watched my recent Summer Blonde tutorial. It's been online now it's been uploaded for a couple of months, and it recently had a spike of about 30,000 views over a weekend. And that caused, well, it created lots of people to see it, and also I got some really great comments about it. The reason that I set this channel up in the first place is all about education. I'm really passionate about what I do as a hairdresser, and I'm really passionate about sharing what I have learned with other people and in turn learning more myself. So I want to say thank you to anybody that watched, liked, subscribed, or left a comment. I had some incredible comments from Brazil, Germany, Amsterdam, of people saying basically that they got something from that video and that it was really helpful. So thank you. I will keep them coming. There will be a new hair color tutorial in early October, around early October, and it's going to be a fun one. So keep watching, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. So what's this video all about? Well, this video is inside my kit bag.
Oh yeah.
Now, this is one of my kit bags. It's a MAC makeup bag actually, but they're really fantastic to use as part of my hair kit. I generally keep all my hot tools in here and bits and pieces as well that I can't be without. But I thought it would be fun to share with you guys what I take generally on a session job when I'm out of the salon. So first things first, this is my, like I said, my MAC makeup bag that I use for all my hot tools. I love it because I've had it now for about 3 years. It's really super handy. It comes everywhere with me. Loads of pockets, loads of compartments inside. I love everything to be organised. If I can pick this up without everything dropping out. I love everything to be organised, and as you can see, me doing a bad job of showing it, but it really is fantastic. I don't know any hairdressers that don't like to, or makeup artists for that matter, that don't like to organise their kit. So we've got everything for everything in here. So I'm going to go through all of this with you and share with you what I use when I'm out doing a session job. So this video is going to be fast and furious because there's a lot to get through, and everybody knows I like to talk. So first up, it is my Marcel tong. Now this is a Daniel Hirschison Marcel tong. For some weird reason, I don't know why, in the UK it's really hard to get a traditional classical Marcel waving tong, waving iron. I know in the States they are kind of standard. In the UK they are not standard. I really love this because it gives me a lot more control. As you can see, there is a place for a normal tong with a spring-loaded arm, but I find when I'm doing push waves that it just gives me so much more control, and I can get a much smoother finish. If you want to see me do some push waves, or you want to learn how to do push waves and see me using this, then go check out my Instagram, which will be linked down below and will possibly pop up one side of me. Sorry, Matt, who does the editing on the videos. And yeah, I mean, I love waves, crazy for waves. I love my Daniel Hirschison iron. This is an old one. It's quite old. It does take quite a long time to heat up. I know that the newer ones heat up really quickly. They're really speedy, and they really are fantastic. I have used one, but this is my trusty old Marcel iron from Daniel Hirschison. Okay, on to my favourite brushes ever, and that is YS Park round brushes. Now, these round brushes have become iconic within the industry. They are expensive, but they cost a lot of money. I think these are about £70 each, a brush. This one I've had for about 10 years, so they last an awfully long time if you look after them. And these two I've had for about 15 years. I use these two every single day that I'm at work. I can go on a job actually with just these two brushes and be completely fine. Why do I love them? I love them because they get the hair smoother than anything gets the hair. I know within the industry now, ceramic brushes are huge and everyone loves them. They don't get the hair, they're never going to get the hair as smooth as a bristle brush. And also, I'm slightly hesitant to put something that is metal next to hair. Hair and metal, they don't really mix very well, and ceramic brushes can get very hot and they can actually do quite a lot of damage to the hair if they're overheated. YS Park brushes are not only beautifully manufactured, but because they have the dual bristles, they have a nylon bristle which grabs the hair, and then they have the natural boar bristle which actually smooths the hair. You do get an incredible finish, and if you look at the videos on my Instagram of the hair color transformations, when I do the how-tos and the befores and after, none of those are ironed with straightening irons, none of them. None of them are filtered, they're just blow dried with one of these. So that is what gives you that super high shine and that really great finish. Definitely worth investing in if you're a hairdresser and you want to kind of like supercharge your kit a little bit. YS Park round brushes. Playing cards, why have I got them? Well, they're really great for a couple of things. The first thing is they're great if you don't want to mark someone's hair when you've dressed it out. You can basically pop a playing card on, put a clip in, and you're not going to mark the hair. Secondly, I use these in a technique called red carpet wave, which I was taught by Lorna Evans. And what you do is you heat the hair up. It's kind of like a wave physics technique, and it is on my Instagram feed if you want to check it out. You heat the hair up section by section, and you clamp your sections in between two cards with clips. Then you let the hair cool right down. And these, not only do they stop the hair from getting the marks from the clips on, but they also keep the heat into the hair. So I have used that technique on a shoot, and I've set the hair up using a setting spray and clipping cards either side, left it for about an hour and a half to cool completely down, and the set has lasted all day, like 12 hours. So, and it's because these cards as well, they're slightly fibrous. Playing cards are often slightly plasticized, so they really, really insulate the heat. And I am never without, I'm always giving cards out, playing cards out to younger hairstylists on shoots or when I'm doing like gigs, live gigs. Really, really fantastic to keep. Simple playing cards. So something that every hairdresser, hairstylist who does freelance work, session work, should probably have in their kit and does probably have in their kit, and that is wig caps and a needle and thread. So obviously self-explanatory, the wig cap. More and more people are wearing wigs these days. I would never turn up for a shoot without some black wig caps, some nude wig caps. You never know when you might need them, and you can't do without them. You can't secure a wig really firmly onto anyone's head without a wig cap. Well, you can, but if they're a dancer and they're going to be doing somersaults, I'd much rather put a wig cap on them. So that's wig caps. Needle and thread. Why do I carry that around with me? Well, again, it's kind of simple. I'm often adding hair to wigs, or I'm tightening someone's weave that's come a little bit loose. So I have several different types of needles and a couple of different types of really strong linen thread that's got me out of more than a scrape when someone's weave has been hanging off, or I've had to customize a wig by adding extra wefts to it. Never without it in my kit. So that's not a hairdressing piece of equipment. Why does he carry mints in his kit? Well, it's kind of like self-explanatory. You work long hours, you work crazy days where you often don't want to eat the food that's provided because you just don't fancy it, or you're just too giddy and involved in waving people's hair and you go without eating. So I always have mints in my kit because, you know, I want to be fresh on set. I don't want to, I'm meeting new people all the time. And also, if you are starving hungry and you don't have anything, it's weird, but if you have a mint, it stops you feeling hungry. So I've always got 3 of these in my kit at various stages of emptiness. I'm not a gum chewer. I'm just not a gum chewer. I wouldn't have gum in my kit, but I do like a mint in my kit bag. Next up, it's my mini crimpers. Now, I love these. They're a fantastic piece of my kit. I don't use them often, but they are a really handy thing to have. And why do I have them? What do I use them for? Well, I'm not making everybody look like they've just left Studio 54. They're not for that. They are to give me some grip at the roots instead of backcombing. Root crimping is something that's done in kind of classical hairdressing a lot when you need to get really firm grip and you want to create a base to pin into, but you don't want to backcomb someone's hair to death. They are what they say they are. Basically, they're a tiny little crimp that gives you that kind of almost pin frizz texture. You just use them where you need them. If you're creating a pleat, you would do them down the center back at the root, and it means that once you've smoothed the hair round and pinned it, it doesn't move. I love my little tiny crimpers. So something I often get asked about on my Instagram is my orange comb. I love my orange comb. It's something I've had in my kit forever. I bought it in the States. I know you can get them on eBay in the UK, but in the States they're a lot easier to come by. It's basically just a plastic comb. I think it's plastic. I think it might be like an anti-static plastic. I use it a lot for colouring in the salon, but I also always take it on jobs with me, and it's always in my kit bag because it seems to have the perfect kind of teeth for brushing out sets. Any kind of set really, whether it be something that's classical or even beachy and you just want to get a little bit more texture in the hair. It really is a fantastic, great all-round comb. If you don't have one in your kit and you can get hold of one, I would suggest that you do, because you will fall in love with your kind of weird retro orange comb. I love my little bag of kind of everything. The bag that everything gets put into when I don't know where it needs to go in my kit. I'm sure if you're a hairdresser, session stylist, you have a bag like this. It's where everything kind of ends up. I have different colour bobby pins that I pick up wherever I am. I generally make a pilgrimage whichever country I go to get different coloured bobby pins. Yeah, slightly crazy and obsessed. I've got bungee bands, which I really, really love, and they're great for snatching up really, really tight, sleek ponytails. Can't get enough of these. I probably have about 20 packets in my kit dotted about. Things like T-pins, when you're doing wig work or extension work and you need to attach them to a head. Everyone needs a T-pin. What else have we got in here? I've got more bungee bands. I've got hair nets, you know, really super fine hair nets. Something that are really quite hard to get hold of now, but they are really, really helpful when you're dressing like long classical looks. Really great and handy to have. So that's, oh, and I've even got some, I've got some loose clip-in hair extension clips here. And I've also got, right at the bottom, hiding away, is my latch hook. Now, this is something that I was taught to use to do like chignons with and to secure long hair when you're doing like classical work. There are examples of me using this on my Instagram, which is linked down below, so go check those out. That's my little bag of kind of wonderfulness. Next up, it's the GHD Platinum Iron. I bought these about 6 months ago and I've been using them a lot. They're fantastic for creating that really undone soft wave. I don't use them as much as I do push wave because push wave's my kind of thing, but they do give you a really, really soft look. Unlike the traditional GHDs, which give you that much more kind of like early 2000s kind of mermaidy hair, this is a much, much softer look. And that's because they have this really soft bevel on them. They're gorgeous to use. They don't get quite as hot as a standard GHD, like a normal GHD iron, which is good. And they also heat up like super quick. You turn them on, they beep, they make a noise to tell you that they're hot. And if you switch them off and then switch them back on again, within I think it's about half an hour, they heat up really, really quickly again. So they have like a standby on them. That's a GHD Platinum Iron.
I love these. Falling in love.
So here's a top tip and something that is always in my kit. If you're going to do a ponytail or on a client or on yourself, then it's really helpful to have some kind of neutral, different shades of eyeshadow. It's just to fill in any areas on the hairline once you've taken that ponytail back that are a little bit finer or a little bit softer. And it's something that I always have in my kit, and a really great little My Kitco brush as well, just to use with the eyeshadows, because you never know when a hairline's going to show up looking a little bit finer than you think it is on camera, or if someone's going to a red carpet and the hairline's just a little bit softer, just fill it in with the correct colour of shadow. Then you'll understand. What is that all about? So we're whizzing through all of this stuff here in my kit bag. Next up, it is brushes from H&M. Now I mentioned already in my hair styling essentials video, which is here on my channel, go check that out, that I'm a fan of a couple of the H&M products, the hairstyling products that they have in their range. But they also do a small range of hairstyling tools. Now this wet and dry brush is really fantastic for getting the tangles out of wet hair, even long hair. As long as you're gentle with it, it won't snag the hair. And then we've got a dressing out brush here. Everybody needs a dressing out brush, whether you're a hairdresser or not. This one's got a really lovely, like soft touch grip matte handle, so it's really nice to hold. And also, the long and the short bristles give you really great back combing, and it's also great for dressing out the hair. So that's H&M for styling tools. So probably the hot styling tool that I probably use the most, I do use my Marcel Iron a lot because at the moment I'm push wave obsessed. Stop talking about push waves. But next up, it would be my
H2D hair care.
It's H2D hair care. It's a bit of a tongue twister. Styling wand. I love this piece of kit. It was Lorna Evans who turned me onto this when I did her class years back. It's a fantastic piece of kit for a few reasons. The first one being is it comes with these interchangeable heads. Put those down quickly. You can get one like this, which is the H2D 3, and you can get the H2D 5. This is the 3, obviously. It has 3 different widths of interchangeable head, and it means that I only have to take one piece of kind of kit with me with the separate heads, which is great. It heats up super quickly. It gets really warm. If I can just clip that back on there we go. It gets really hot. It goes up to 240, I think, 240 degrees. And the reason that it is my favorite wand and the only one that I would ever use is that it's not a conical wand. It's straight from end to end. So it means that you've got far more barrel length to actually wrap the hair around. Really great for twist and wrap. The tutorials for that the how-tos are on my Instagram. And it gives you a good general heat all the way along the barrel. I would say a word of advice, obviously when you're using like a heated wand, always wear a heat glove, because there's nothing here to actually keep the hair wrapped around the barrel. So you have to hold it on, and this doesn't have like a cool touch end to it. So you always need to, safety first guys, because I have burnt myself quite badly when I've been in a rush using this, but always use a heat glove, even if you're just gonna tong a couple of bits of hair. But it really is a fantastic piece of kit, and I've had this for 3 years now, 4 years, and I use it like more or less every day, and it's still going strong. H2D hair care wand. So I always like to keep a few fun hair slides in my kit bag. I do all different kinds of session work, so you never know when you're going to need something just to jazz up, well, who am I? Jazz up a hairstyle. So I've got stuff that's suitable more for red carpet, and then I've got some really just like fun kind of bits and pieces, some brightly coloured hair bobby pins there as well, and some like elastic bands. It's just worth having to, just so you can change things up a little bit. Clips. Clips, 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 and more clips. You can't, as a hairdresser, hairstylist, you can't have enough clips. They're the sort of thing that I buy whenever I see them. These I bought in Delorme in Paris when I was last there. Love those, they're really cool. Tiny little clips, really, really handy. These are pretty standard, like hair tool sectioning clips. That box was full, now it's half empty. Where do they go? No one knows. They just disappear. I think they sprout legs and just walk. But as hairdressers, we are crazy for clips. So this doesn't really need any introduction. It's a Mason & Pearson Boar Bristle brush. Wow, that's a lot of alliteration there. This, I have it in my kit. I don't use it loads, but it is really fantastic for dressing out classical looks. It's also a really good brush to have at home if you have kind of long hair and you like to give your hair a good brush once a day or before you shampoo your hair. A really good standard cult item in a kit bag. So this isn't actually a piece of kit, it's a product, and that is Olaplex number 3, which is the maintainer within the range. This is the one that you have to use at home to maintain the salon treatment. But there's a reason that I have this in my kit bag. And there's a reason that it's always in my kit bag. A couple of years ago, I was in Milan and I was doing MTV EMAs and I got asked to go and do Ruby Rose's colour in her hotel room at 11 o'clock at night, the night before the show. She was presenting it and she'd just flown in from a film set and her hair had been heavily processed and I was going to have to colour it, to put a toner on it to get her ready for the next day. Thank goodness I had Olaplex Maintainer in my kit bag. It saved my life that night. It really is. You know how much of an Olaplex fan I am if you've seen any of my other videos. It really did save the day. It's also great to have in my kit bag for the simple reason that I can use it as a leave-in blow dry product. But rather than put it in my hairstyling essentials, I thought I'd talk about it in my kit bag. What's in my kit bag? So you just use like a pea-sized amount through the mid-lengths and ends and blow dry it in as like a styling lotion. And it really does make hair that's parched, over-processed and feeling a little bit elastic feel much stronger. So that's Olaplex number 3 and that will always be in my kit bag. Bam. Every hairstylist needs a blow dryer. Hairdryer. We call them hairdryers in the UK. In America, they're called blow dryers. It's all good. It's all the same. So this is my blow dryer of choice, and it's a Parlux dryer. It's a pretty standard hairdryer. I've had hairdressers that have kind of laughed at me using a Parlux hairdryer. I've got 3 of these. They're all black. They're all very well loved. I've used the same kind of blow dryer now for like 20 years. I've tried others, I've tried a lot of the branded, like GHD, and I've had a go with the Dyson. But for me, this is the best, cheapest, like bargain blow dryer. It doesn't get too hot. It's not one of these new kind of like dryers that gets so boiling hot that you're scared it's gonna melt your brush. A hairdryer doesn't need to get that hot. And although I think the Dyson hairdryer is great, it's really hard to grip the Dyson hairdryer like that, which is the way that I do when I'm blow drying and have done forever because it gives me more control. So it's pretty standard, it's pretty basic, but it's a Parlux dryer. And for me, it wins out over all the others. Okay, so that's almost it for what's inside my kit bag. But I want to just share with you, just very briefly, talk about an independent British company, and it's actually something that I keep my kit in, and that is My Kitco. Now, James Malloy and his partner, who own My Kitco, every single job I ever go on, there's always a makeup artist or a hairstylist with some of this kit. These are so amazing for keeping. I've got one that I keep all my hair products in, I've got one that I keep my brushes in, I've got another one that I keep my clips in, and so on and so forth. They really are fantastic because they're very affordable, they mean that you can keep everything really organised, and they're really sturdy, they're really, really well made. They come in loads and loads of different shapes and sizes. I really recommend, this one is really cool as well because it's got a handle on the top of it. And if I just lean down here, where I keep my brushes, there's one here that's got like a canvas with like the plastic. So you can always see what's inside because they have the plastic tops, the see-through tops. Definitely worth investing in. Another great thing that I have from My Kitco, it's actually a brow brush, but it's a really fantastic brush for doing all your edging with once you've done a ponytail. Just apply any product directly to the bristles, and because they're very soft, they don't snag on the hair and don't actually pull it away from the ponytail. It just means that you can work any product into those edges. So that's that one's called My Brushed Brow. So really fantastic brush and a really fantastic way of organising all of your kit. So that's it for what's inside my kit bag. I've really enjoyed making this video for you guys, and it is really great to share with you everything I use day to day when I'm styling hair. If you like this video and you've enjoyed it, then please give it a like, and please subscribe to my channel because there's going to be lots more coming. If you want to check out my Instagram, which again will be linked down below or possibly popping up somewhere around here right now, there are lots more colour formulas, how-to videos and top tips on everything to do with hair. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon.